Hey, Johnny from SpeedCubeReview.com. Let's do another live breakdown between the MF5 and the MF5s from MoYu. So these are both budget cubes and they came out around the same time, but it's a little confusing on what's the difference. Before we break this down, let's talk about how the cubes feel. And honestly, they feel almost identical. Now I've set them both up, and after setting up, they're both pretty fast. Corner cutting is pretty much the same on both of them. And the only main difference in the feel is that this one feels a little bit lighter turning. Now, not lighter in weight, but just lighter turning. So you can hear this and this. What I believe that's from is that if you look on the edges, this is completely flat, while on the MF5s, you have a couple tracks there. Now, I asked MoYu directly, and they said that the MF5 is a cheaper option, which, you know, this is already a pretty cheap option in itself, and that also the MF5 is a single track design while the MF5s is a double track design. Let's check that out. So first thing, let's loosen this a little bit. Now, already looking at these pieces, the screw in this cap is much deeper than this one. So there's already a little difference in just the cap design. As far as flooring holes, the corners on the MF5s is a little bit more rounded, while this is a little more squared off. So you'd think reverse corner cutting would be a little bit better on the 5s. And it is, by just a little bit. Now let's pop an edge out. We have 3 pieces coming out all at once. And we do, just looking at the difference here, have 1 extra notch on the MF5s compared to the MF5. You can see right over the edge pieces, there's 1 more little edge wing coming out right there. Taking a look at these 3 edge pieces, so the MF5 has a little bit deeper piece compared to the 5s. And looking at corners, which is kind of the biggest thing I feel when it's coming to these kind of pieces, the 5s has a much bigger corner stock right there. Now, when I was doing the corner cutting, I felt like this took a little bit more pressure to do than the 5. So the 5s seemed a little bit more stable as far as corner cutting, but the regular 5 flexed a little bit more, allowing for that corner cutting to happen. Now that seems pretty much it. We're going to look at one more piece here. I'm going to try to not have this whole thing fall apart on me. Whoop. So we're going to look at one more piece here, and we have the edge. So again, the 5s has a much bigger wing at the very end and tracks on the pieces. So they are not really similar shapes. You can see the design is based off of each other, but it's not just the same thing with some tracks added. They're actually different pieces altogether. So between these two puzzles, the MF5s was much more difficult to put together, and because of that, one can assume it's much more difficult to pop. So if you're mainly worried about not having a puzzle that's going to pop on you, the MF5s would be the way to go. I've had a few people say that they actually like the feeling of the MF5 more. Now, I have not had this pop on me personally, and as far as feeling goes, I like the feeling of the MF5. It just feels a little more fluid, and I feel like I get just fewer lockups than I do on the 5s. Now, with that said, both are fine cubes, but I want to do a little bit of breakdown to figure out what the main difference was. And there you guys go. So we mainly have a 2-track design with different shaped pieces than this one. A little bit more stable, a little more sturdy, a little slightly different shaped pieces, but overall, very nice budget 5x5s. Thank you very much. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, stop by SpeedCubeReview.com for more news and reviews.